Okay, guys, we are live. It's Saturday night. We're going to have a nice little chat, a nice little hot topic to talk about tonight. I never really hit it with issues. I've always skirted around it, but tonight we're going to probably just get into it, delve into it, give you my opinions on it. Hopefully Doug will give you his opinions. It's all about opinions. I don't care what other people think or say. I mean, that's what it's about. That's why I come on here live. That's why I do it every week. Also, Keith should be with us, hopefully, in the next 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. But hopefully he'll be with us. He's a little bit late at the moment, so hopefully Keith will be with us as well. I see the Mighty Reds television's in the house. Dan, if you want to come in, you can give me your say on FSG. I'd say that would be tasty. Give me a thumbs up and I'll send you a link. But I want to get Doug's as well. But I'll just give you a quick taste of mine because if Keith comes in, someone else comes in. Yeah, absolutely. Who's that behind the stat? As some name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Steven Stubbs on Twitter.
Oh my God! Can you hear me? Okay, Doug? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Yeah. I just want to make sure everybody else can hear me because the volume doesn't seem to be great. Let me just plug out my mic and reset it because it's usually louder, and I have a very loud voice. But can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Mm-hmm.
That's better. Busy, mate, but if you're doing anything tomorrow, give me a bell, says the Mighty Red. Absolutely, Dan. Just listen in, share it, like it, do what you want with it, baby. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you my take. People will be recording this take on FSG, Fenway Sports Group, the American owners. 10 or 11 years ago, we all know the story, guys. We all know the story. Hicks and Gillette, the two cowboys, were in charge of Liverpool. We were a sinking ship. We were a ship out on the coast. We were adrift. I've got to give you analogies. You know the way I like analogies. So we were a ship leaking water. It was getting worse. You know, it was really getting worse. We were in trouble. We were in trouble as a club. People don't realize how much trouble. But I think it was a lot of trouble. People don't realize it was actually almost sinking trouble. So there we were, sinking. All of a sudden, Fenway Sports Group, FSG, John W. Henry, whatever you want to call them, comes along, sends out a few tugboats. They take the ship, bring it in slowly into port, stern side, bring us in, get us out of the deep waters, patch up the leaks, whatever you want to say. Probably even change the crew on the ship, to be fair. It's definitely changed the man at the helm, the man at the wheel, because Klopp came in 2015, of course, and Brendan Rodgers went out. We've done unbelievable stuff. I know Mighty Reds is calling us the Titanic, but I mean, yeah, you could call us the Titanic. But at the end of the day, guys, my take on FSG is we were sinking ship. They came in and saved us. There is just no absolute doubt about it. They steadied the ship for us. They really did. Okay, they did that. They changed us structurally. They brought in so many more commercial opportunities. We talk about the Nike deal and stuff like that. Really, really can. They brought in the top-class players, the likes of Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, Mane, all the top stars you see today. Basically, okay, they all came in. Look where we are right now. We've never been in a better place, realistically, in the last 30 years. I mean, I followed Liverpool since the 80s. We had a great team in the 80s, 70s and 80s. But we had a decent side in the 90s, but we never quite got over the line. You know what I mean? With the odd FA Cup here and there, the odd League Cup here and there. We finished second once or twice. But we're never the real deal. This team is the real deal, Doug. This team's the real deal. So, we've brought Klopp in. People forget that. Klopp came in. Klopp came in October 2015. FSG brought him in. People forget that. Right. So I'm not going to be an FSG, getting a brown envelope from FSG straight after this stream. It's not going to happen. What I'm saying is they have been very, very good for the club. But there is one caveat. They have made mistakes. Big mistakes, I think. The Super League was a big, probably their biggest mistake, the Super League, which a lot of fans will just not back down on that, right? I can understand that. The furloughs last year was a mistake. I'm going to let you in, Doug. Don't worry, it's going to be a rant, but you're coming in, and I want you to rant. The furloughs was a big one as well. The fact that the two, especially the last two windows, let's say, January gone, January 21, and of course this window, just fresh in our memories. They didn't, I would say, strengthen where we needed strengthening. We almost paid a price for it in January and didn't get Champions League football. I mean, I still don't know how the hell we got Champions League football with some of the players we had on the pitch. We won 8, drew 2 of the last 10. That's what we needed to do, really. Or we'd no chance. I mean, Alisson comes on and scores an injury time header. That doesn't go in. I think I don't know whether we get it, because that just kept it going. You know what I mean? It kept us rolling over and over. So they made a mistake in January by not signing the famous centre half. Yes, and I think personally they made a big mistake this summer not getting a forward. I know we're talking about midfielders, but I still think a centre forward or even an attacking player to give us options going forward. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us. But in the whole, I think FSG have been pretty good for the club. I'm going to give them 7 out of 10. Now, Doug, but as I say, they haven't been the best thing in the whole world. You'll get a lot of the FSG outers and all this type of stuff. You'll see them in here tonight, and I know who they are. What's your take on FSG as a whole, say in the last 10 years, but not just what's happened in the last year or two? And I haven't even mentioned Anfield Road extensions, the new city, the new main stand, the regeneration, Kirby training ground. I haven't even mentioned that stuff. So what's your take on FSG?
I think you hit the nail on the head. They've been really, really good for us. They saved us from going into the oblivion, really. I mean, Hicks and Gillette really, sank it down to the ground, really. Obviously, I know Martin Broughton, I think, was chairman at the time as well. But they have been very good for us. Obviously, they have made a few decisions which I've not kind of agreed with. Obviously, I think one was, getting Kenny Dalglish to go all the way out to America just to sack him. I did not agree with that. Brendan Rodgers they brought in, I think that was very, very ambitious at the time. And Brendan Rodgers nearly won us the league. And then obviously they make a decision to get rid of Rodgers, and they managed to get, Jurgen Klopp. The rest is history, as they say. And yes, I know they've made other mistakes. They tried to trademark the name Liverpool as well. Obviously the furlough, Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, whoever's in the Liverpool legend would be turning in their grave at that as well. Look, I know they have made mistakes, but they have been very, very good for us as well. Obviously Champions League, we signed Alisson, we signed Van Dijk. That was from the Coutinho money. And, Michael Edwards has been absolutely fantastic with FSG as well. The transfer committee, I don't think that worked. So I'm kind of glad they've kind of swayed away from that. And to be honest, I think the big mistake that they have not done, when we won the Champions League, I think we only signed Adrian and Sepp Vandenberg, if my memory serves me correctly. And then when we won the Premier League, we never strengthened at all. That's the one thing I think that's the one thing. Obviously, we did sign Thiago, we signed Tsimikas, and we signed Jota, but that's not enough. I think that's the big mistake, is that when Manchester United were winning titles, Fergie always refreshed the squad. That's the big problem I think with FSG I have, is that they haven't refreshed and they haven't given money to Klopp as well. But the Super League, I think that was very, very bad.
Damaging, very damaging.
Yeah. I think there is now a divide between fans and FSG. I think it is coming. If they make any more mistakes, I can honestly see there being a lot of protests, which I don't obviously want to see. But
look at this down there. We're ended up like United fans, and I don't want to say that. Sir Oswald Fortitude, I like that name. Be careful what you wish for. There are far worse owners out there, and you know what? You're absolutely
agree.
Right.
Absolutely agree with that.
What do the guys want in the comments? Okay, let's say you're FSG out. Do you want FSG out? So FSG go tomorrow, right? They announced they're gone. They're actually going before the Leeds game, which is tomorrow week. Who do you want in? Do you want an oligarch like Roman Abramovich? Do you want a state-owned team like PSG or Manchester City? What do you want? What do you want? A hedge fund in that strips the clubs of assets, like the Glazers, comes in and all-star really. I mean, listen, it is a business. People don't like hearing that. But, I mean, look at the Glazers. There's a perfect example. They were getting ripped to shreds, and they still are being ripped to shreds. But It's all calmed down because they brought in three quality players. It has to be said, especially when Ronaldo came in the last few weeks. They're licking their arses now. You can see all the big pundits, all the big YouTubers. They're in dreamland with the Glazers now, and that'll give them time now. There's no doubt about it. And United haven't won anything. They've won nothing in years. So it's fickle. It's fickleness as well for me. It really is fickleness as well for me. But I mean, what do you wish for? I want the comments, the guys in the comments as well. Who's going to come in? Liverpool are worth a lot of money at the moment, thanks to FSG as well. Their price has doubled or tripled since the last time, since Hicks and Gillette went.
For 4.58 billion, I believe.
Well, on the market probably, but whether you get that or not is another thing. Tommy Walker, thank folks for FSG. They could be better without them. We would be mid-table and have one fuck all, says Tommy.
Exactly.
But that's it. I mean, listen, we all would have liked players. Don't get me wrong. I would have liked a player in January because it gives you a spark, fresh blood. It gives you a spark going forward. It ruffles the team up, and especially in areas where you're short. I mean, God forbid Salah ever gets injured. I think he's playing for Egypt tomorrow in Gabon. He's playing one game and he's flying. I think he's straight home after it. I mean, Taki Minamino got injured. I know he's not probably even on the scene, but he got injured for Japan either last night or today. He looks like he's a bit of an injury. I mean, Bobby still is a bit of an injury. No one really knows much about the Bobby injury. Is it a month? Is it a month? Is it 2 or 3 weeks? Is it 2 months? Everybody's saying it's not too bad, but we don't know. But what I'm saying is, one bad injury probably. I mean, if Salah got injured, I would be worried. I mean, luckily he hasn't been injured really, has he? Since he's been there, he's never had a bad injury. So I mean, forward line we needed somebody definitely. So I can understand people giving out, especially fans. We didn't sign. As you said, Man United did it religiously. Every year they brought at least one. I'm not on about a squad player, quality starting 11 player, a starting 11 player. And the problem for Liverpool is another reason people are giving out is another one, Doug. The fact of contract renewals, they can be done anytime. They don't have to wait for the last day of the transfer window to bring in two transfer renewals, especially one of them, the Henderson one, which to be fair was 99.9% done anyway. I mean, we
knew that was going to happen anyway. We knew that was going to happen.
That was just another bad PR. I think the FSG should sack their PR company. That's the ones they should sack because some of the PR stuff coming out of LFC in the last year or two has been absolutely terrible. Whoever the PR director or manager is should be sacked. You don't think? Some terrible decisions,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was wrong to announce those new contracts on deadline day. I really, really do.
Absolutely. But no, I really do. And it just backtracks. Okay, we'll fill in the transfer deadline, but nobody's coming in. Even though everybody's hoping and watching Sky Sports on the last day up till 11 o'clock, dreaming and hoping. And as the time ticks away, and he's extended. And breaking news, Jordan Henderson has extended his. I mean, look, we all love Jordan Henderson getting the extension. Some of the extensions, we all know, all these players needed to be tied down, but I just don't think they needed to be tied down on deadline day. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Absolutely silly. Jackie boy, there will always be someone out there that would want to own Liverpool Football Club, one of the most historic clubs in forward football. If Liverpool Football Club is on the market, they would buy. The problem is, who are they? I know there's a lot. There's apparently a big royal family in Saudi Arabia. They won't go away. I'm sure you know that another Middle Eastern, I mean, do you want to be human rights issues? I mean, listen, there's issues everywhere. I mean, it's billionaires now that own Premier League clubs. It's not millionaires. It's billionaires. That's the ones you want.
Yeah.
It's billionaire level now. And I just think, listen, are FSG here for the long haul? I think they are. I think they're here for another 10 years. I really do. I mean, Klopp's here for at least 3 years. Let's hope he extends, but, 2024. We've extended a lot of the top players. We've got to get the Salah one over the line. That's the big pivotal one for me. That's the huge one for me. Salah to sign. He still hasn't done it. There's obviously something going on. I heard things today, talking about 500,000 weeks. I mean, listen.
That is a load of bullshit.
He deserves whatever he's going to get anyway. I mean, whatever he wants.
But, Yeah, that 500k thing is an absolute load of absolute crap. There is no way on this earth that we are offering him 500k. No way. And I don't think he would even want that either. So, yeah. That's a good question, Ravi. That's a very good question. I mean, obviously, we've got Origi, Minamino, Jota.
Yeah.
It's not great,
Bobby. But listen, but the only other thing about that is you can also the window opens in January, so you have a chance to look for someone now to bring in January. But realistically, you wanted them in August, I think, even earlier, maybe July, get them tied to bed in. Which
didn't make sense in why we were trying to go for Ismail Yassar, because he would have been away at the African Cup of Nations. Yves Bissouma, he would have been away at the African Cup of Nations as well. Doesn't make sense for us going after these African players.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sir Oswald Fortitude, this goes back to Peter Moores, or no, that's Dave Moores, I think he's on about the chairman. Selling to Hicks and Gillette instead of DIC, which were loaded and Liverpool. Yeah, listen, mistakes are made in every walk of life. Mistakes are made in business, in sport, in life, in history. Some mistakes in history have cost world wars. Let's be real here. This is the way it is. This is the way life is. Yeah. Mistakes are made. I mean, we can all look back in hindsight and say, should have did this, should have did that. We are where we are. The only good thing about that is you can learn from your mistakes. If it's in hindsight, you can actually learn and should learn from your mistakes. And some clubs actually don't learn from the mistakes. And that can be a problem. But I just, Eamon Kelly, FSG will sell up when Klopp bows out, which is in another 3 years at least. But it's another thing, and I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter. A lot of the TikTok stuff I just don't look at. I mean, the FSG out. So some of it actually has a basis in truth as well. I mean, it's not all bullshit. Let's be fair. It's not all bullshit. The transfer stuff, some of the stuff we touched on, the furlough, the Super League stuff, the stuff you're on about, the Liverpool copyright, the LFC, the Liverpool name, and some of the stuff, it's just, they're so far away. They're in America. Maybe that's a lot lost in translation, as I say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was one I forgot as well, the £77 ticket prices as well, the Liverpool-Sunderland walkout. I remember that as well.
Yeah. That was a while back. I heard Chris Pajak talking about that. People talk about the like of DIC are bad because of human rights, and I don't disagree, but don't wrong. FSG are also doing some shit, and that's why I don't know about that one, John Moore. But listen, as I say, I'm sure there's wrongs and rights everywhere in football and in life. That's the whole thing. But I mean, it's an opinion. If you're FSG out, you're FSG out. If you're FSG in, you're in. And if you're sitting on the fence, that's okay too. You know what I mean? I mean, they've done, as I said already, I think the thing for FSG, and this is my angle on it. FSG, if you're taking it as a whole, have done more right than wrong. Now, they've done wrong,
100%.
but they've done more. Do you know what I mean? They've done more right than wrong. They've done some wrong. You know what I mean? So we know the wrongs they've done. We know the wrong they've done, but we know the goods they've done. We know what the good things they've done. And I'm hoping they can do some more good things going forward. And obviously, everybody's pointing to January next, which is the next big one for them. You know what I mean? With the AFCON and things like that. But the problem is, Doug, they've left themselves open now. They've really left, as you said, one or two injuries in the wrong area this side of Christmas, or, international break now, next week. And it all goes belly up. FSG are literally like that with the fan base. You know what I'm saying? Generally. So one or two bad things, and it starts tipping. And that's when you get a problem. I've seen the stuff about the protesting and stuff, but most of that, none of it even came true, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're trying to organise something for the Palace game, the next home game. But I mean, it's probably Instagram, TikTok fans. I don't know. Yeah. FSG. Here's Zachary from the States. FSG love the soccer. That's a real American thing to say, isn't it? But they do. But I mean, look, if anybody's ever seen the film Moneyball, which of course was Brad Pitt and Jonah, or what's his name? Jonah? Yeah. What's his name? The guy with Brad Pitt in the film? Something Jonah. Anyway.
Jonah Hill.
Brad Pitt's the main guy in it, but I think FSG's policy, we all know what way to do it. They're not going to change it. This is their policy. We spend what we make. We don't spend what we don't have. It's like a Moneyball thing. Now, it has worked, to be fair. It really has. It's like the famous thing. We don't buy, diamonds. We buy lumps of coal that turn into diamonds, basically.
Yeah.
We grind them down into diamonds. And it has worked 9 times out of 10. Will it work forever? That's the question mark. It's a possibility it won't. It's very hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. So watch that film, The Moneyball with Brad Pitt, because it was the baseball thing. And as we know, they own the baseball team, the Red Sox as well. So Fenway Park, Fenway Sports Group. You know what I mean? In Boston Red Sox. So it's that policy. We know the policy. So, I mean, what do you do? We'll just have a look at a few little comments here. The people are doing great to come in and throw in their comments. Jack Mack, Super League hasn't gone away. When they come back to the party with the new rules and not close shop for the FSG, will come back with the same ideas, more money for them, not the club. I can't see the Super League going ahead now. I think they signed up with UEFA to stay away for it for a few years anyway. I can't see that happening anytime soon, to be fair.
I can't either.
Not this side of Klopp anyway. I can't see it. Rory Fitzgerald. Hey, Rory. Hope you're well. Evening, Dave. Good to see Doug on. Salah's contract is bigger than any signing. On balance, agree with you that they had done more good than bad. Clearly, with the trophies, we have won. Yeah, but listen, 30 years waiting in the Premier League, guys. 30 years. 30 years of hurt, basically. And we get over the line. Now, number 6 was beautiful. Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup for the first time, of course. But people don't want that drying up. We want continued success. The city of Liverpool, the extended city, the worldwide LFC family group, as we call them, want more success. Doug, we all want it. You want it. Yeah. Everybody wants it. Now, when people look at our rivals, the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Plastic Boys, I mean, you've even the other clubs like the Spurs, radding in here and there. They've actually at the top of the league, 3 wins out of 3. Will it last? I don't think so. Even Leicester City, up-and-coming club, very good. I have to mention them. Up-and-good coming club. So it's going to be a tough season to win the league. It's really going to be a tough... I'd still have City as favourites. I know Liverpool fans mightn't want to hear that. I'm just being realistic. I would have City as favourites. You have to throw Man United in there, even though I hate them. But the fact that they've tightened up defensively with Varane, Sancho's there, and I think Ronaldo, as I seen for the Ireland game the other night, will score goals. There's no doubt about it. The guy's a machine. I mean, the guy's a machine. He's super fit. What age is he? 36 or something? That guy will go to 40. He will score goals. It's not even scoring goals. I just think he'd give the dressing room, he'd give the crowd a lift. And sometimes that's more important than even being on the pitch. Give the whole fan base a lift. Give the whole bloody fan base a lift. And I think that's where FSG have lost the trick. I'm not saying bring Suarez back or even bring Coutinho back, but I'm saying that little transfer, it doesn't have to be a £100 million player. It could be a 20 million older player, an ex-player, did well somewhere else. Bring him back, bang, in the dressing room, experience. And we know Klopp likes the tight groups. That's the thing. He doesn't like disrupting groups. And maybe Klopp, listen, I don't know. Maybe Klopp is happy with the group he has. Who knows? Maybe Klopp didn't want anybody. I don't bloody know. Do you? I don't know. Was he happy with what he had? Maybe Michael Edwards and Julian Brand came. I mean, we know the story of Michael Edwards. He might even be there next year, and Julian Brand will be number 2, who could be number 1. But did he say to Klopp at a meeting, which I'm sure there are meetings every day? It's not just end of the window. Do you have a meeting on the phone? Yeah, are you happy with what you got? Maybe he is. I don't bloody know. The fans weren't. I can tell you that much. But Zachary Leahy, they're at a proving ground next year. We are at a proving ground next year. We need new young talent. Look, here's another point. I watched a very good podcast the other night on LFC Day Trippers. They did a stellar cast on. Grizz was doing his show called Carnage. Grizz Khan was on. He was hosting it. Chris Pajak, who I'll have on next week from Redman TV, was on. You had Callum Sanderson, our old friend from Coppish. You had Avi from LFC Day Trippers. And you had Mo Stewart from the Anfield Rap. You had a nice panel there. And it was, talking mainly about the owners and stuff. And a lot of good points. Some were in, some were out, some were sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
Which is nice. That's what I want. You want views. You want opinions. That's what it's all about, Doug. You know what I mean? So that's the reason. I hope Keith comes in and gives us his view on it. He might pop in. I was hoping Jack could have made it, but he's busy. Connor, I don't think got the message. But I think it's such an important chat. I never really addressed it. The odd little, 2-3 minute, not a proper podcast addressing. But don't get me wrong. FSG, as I said, have done more good than bad for this club. But I think they've missed a trick. They've missed a trick. I thought they would have learned from their mistake in January and the backlash in January when they didn't add when we needed to and just got over the line. And then didn't do, as I say, Ibrahima Konate, which was a good sign, and I'm happy with that. But that was early in the window. I mean, you had a whole of June, July, August to get 1 or 2 players in, guys, and didn't quite do it. Didn't quite do it. So that's a big question mark for me. Dave, all they had to do was sign 1 midfielder to replace Gini, and I think the fan base wouldn't have been as decisive and just do the business. Exactly, someone like Saul Niguez. I see his wages were ridiculous. I know Chelsea got him, and look, I don't think we were ever even in for him, to be fair. You always see that, and Liverpool Echo are getting worse at this, where they put a player up and go, oh, Liverpool, interested. I mean, I don't think so. Liverpool are so tight in their committee, they don't even let the top journos know anymore. There's no leaks out of Liverpool, which is really impressive. It's really impressive. What do you think, Doug?
Sorry. I just seen that Scotland just scored against Moldova. So just doing.
Oh, that made you happy. That's all right. Well, that's good, yeah. Where are they at home tonight, Scotland?
Yeah, they're at home. Yeah, must win. Must win because
they'll beat Moldova.
I think they're away to Austria midweek as well. So. Yeah, no, that's a start. At least we can win against Moldova. Hopefully, get something against Austria. But we'll see.
Sir Oswald, listen, here we go. Man United have a $500 million debt, which isn't going away anytime soon. There you go. What are you wishing for, Glazers? They were storming their own. Their own beloved theatre of dreams, wrecking the place, getting past the stewards. And I mean, all of a sudden. They want bleeding statues of the Glazers up outside the ground. So it's fickleness. It's just fickleness for me. Now, I know there's still fans that want them out. There is a hardcore still want them out no matter what they do. They just want them out. But you'll get that. You'll get that out for every club. Every club you go in won't be happy with the owners. Every club. Yeah. Every club. Look at Arsenal at the moment. Are they happy with the owners? And they've spent money. They have spent money. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
152 million they've spent this summer.
So I mean, it's just I don't know what to say most of the time. John Moore, where are people giving Klopp credit to FSG? Think obviously when we won the league, they didn't spend a penny after promising Klopp they had money. Well, look, I do think Liverpool have money. I really do. But as I said, we spend the money. It's nearly like profit we spend. If we break even, they don't spend it because there's nothing there. But if they say make 50 or 60 million, they'll spend it on, say, maybe a player or two. But there is money there. I mean, we're a huge club. Yeah. Worldwide, I'm talking about.
100%.
Worldwide. You know what I'm 100%. Saying? You should see them over here in Ireland. Like, I'd say Liverpool, it's touch and go between Liverpool and United over here. I mean, Liverpool, I was in the Liverpool store today. We've a few Liverpool stores, official ones in Dublin. I was and there's 3 I know of, at least 3. And I was talking to the girl today behind the counter. She's from Brazil, and she was telling me that. I was asking her, was she a Liverpool fan? And she goes, she wasn't a Liverpool fan until 2 years ago. She started working for Liverpool, in behind the counter. But she became a Liverpool fan, probably because of the fact we'd won the European Cup, won the league in those 2 years. Obviously winning things, profile, makes you become a fan as well, I suppose. But we're talking about legacy fan here, going back maybe 20, 30 years. But so I mean, they're huge worldwide. We'll sell jerseys, whatever you want to sell. But I think it's bigger than that. I think it really is bigger than that. I think football's changed. The fan has changed. What it means to be a fan has changed. I don't mean for the older fan. I mean for the younger fan. I said it to you earlier. I mean, a lot of younger fans, my nephews and nieces, 10, 12-year-olds, they're not like the fans of the 80s, 90s, noughties even. They follow brands. They follow players. They follow Ronaldo. They follow Messi. I'd say a lot of Barcelona fans have become bloody PSG fans. The kids I'm talking about with
Yeah.
probably bought PSG Messi because Messi's in the back of it. I mean, Ronaldo, you know, my nephew was a Juventus fan. He's a Chelsea fan, but he had a Juve jersey because Ronaldo was there. I wouldn't be surprised he gets in the jersey because Ronaldo's there, even though he follows Chelsea. Now he's only 10, but you know, it's a brand thing. I mean, some of the people are more worried about how many Instagram followers they have, or how many TikTok fans, or how many Twitter fans. I mean, it's football. I like bringing it down just to football, but it is more than that now. It's more than that. But I like bringing it down to the bare bones, the 90 minutes plus. That's what I like. That's what I live for on a Saturday or a Wednesday or a Tuesday night or a Sunday afternoon, whenever it's on. It's those 90 minutes, really. People start getting involved now with the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know, Daz, TV, Darren Whelan's it. Daz, if you want to give me your shout on FSG, I will give me a thumbs up and I'll send you a link, bro. If you want to pop in for 10 minutes, give me your take on FSG. Daz does a bit of work for LFC, or does a bit of work for the Day Trippers as well. Let me know, Daz, you want to pop in. But I mean, it's just... It's unbelievable. I know you're opening a hornet's nest even mentioning the word FSG, but I think it needed to be addressed. Owners are allowed to spend 100 million off they own every year. Not saying they should do, but listen, they're not going to spend 100 million every year. Only teams like, you know, City, Chelsea, and United do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, I'm really stumped here for words to say because it's just, and I don't want to come across as an FSG arse-licker because I'm not. You know what I mean? I care about Liverpool Football Club, really. And the team on the pitch. I don't really care about the owners. They'll come and go. I've seen managers come and go. I've seen players come and go. I've followed them since the 80s. I've seen the good times. I've seen the bad times. This sounds like a song, actually. But you know what I mean? I've been the good times. I've seen the bad times. But, you know, so it's just, I want to see the team. I want to see them be successful. But to be that on the pitch, it's all about the Benjamin Franklins, unfortunately, and not more so than then, not more so than now. It's never been more important, unfortunately. And I've seen the net spend. I've seen what Klopp's done, which is just unbelievable. We're bottom of the table. We're bottom of the top 10 table of the big clubs on net spend. How he's doing it is an absolute miracle whip. How he's doing it is just wow. On the bright side, us Liverpool fans never have to worry about FFP. Well, you know, well, that's true. That's another podcast. Eamon Kelly, I'm a Dave Burrows fanboy. What a fullback he was, Dave Burrows. Oh my God. Yeah, what a fullback he was. I think he lives in the States at the moment, but I'm not sure. But it is more of a fan of a sport in general now. Lots of people get jerseys from different teams and like other teams. Never. Well, that's exactly what I just said. I'm an 80s boy. It certainly won't stick. You won't see me walking around, you know, with a fucking jersey. I'm a Coutinho with a Barcelona jersey. That just what, you know, never. It's Liverpool all the way for me, and that's just the way. That's just the way it's going to be. So, Doug, I'm stumping you here. If you had to say, it's hard to come in on it, isn't it? I mean,
it is. It's very, very hard. But the one thing I will say is, I'm in the middle. I'm not FSG out. I'm not FSG in.
You're sitting on the fence.
I'm in the middle, and to be honest, I'm not one of those people that goes to protests or anything like that. I'm one of those sensible ones that just focuses on what happens on the football side of things.
But that's what I'm saying. But it is bigger than just the football. That's the problem we do have. Like it is a business. There is a business side to it. And it's actually more now than it ever was. And you have to sort of... I sent Daz TV the link. If you want to pop in, you can, Daz. No problem if you don't want to. I've just sent you the link, so if you want to. Johnny, let's have a look at what Johnny has to say here. FSG nearly blew it last season concerning the January window. Not as clever as you think here. I just said that, Johnny. That was the first point I just said. I'm not saying they're super clever. I said they made mistakes, especially in January and especially in August, because they didn't strengthen. They did not strengthen, and they should have strengthened in both windows in key areas, and they didn't do it. We knew Genie was going. I'm sure they knew in January Genie was going. You know, He wasn't signing the contract. We knew Genie was going, so we knew we were short up front. We didn't do it. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. No. Jackie boy, American owners are just ever interested in the bottom line, says Eamon Kelly. Most businesses are only worried about that. As I said earlier, I'm a legacy fan. You can call me a legacy fan all you want, but for me, it's about the club. It's about the club. It's about the city of Liverpool, because the club Liverpool, like the Anfield Rap and Red TV, especially Anfield Rap, I think it's the culture of Liverpool, the city as a city, the history of Liverpool, that type of thing.
Yeah.
For me, I'm interested in as well. I've seen owners come and go, as I said, and FSG won't be there forever. Sadly, Klopp won't be there forever. It's just the way it is. It's life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some of the players certainly won't be there forever, because it's just about time. Time is the biggest killer of all, as we know. And for me, you can't love owners. You can give them respect, but you can say they've made mistakes and they've done some good things. You have to call it out when they've done good things, some good things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You can't just say it's all bad. It's all bad news, guys.
No.
I can't do that either.
Yeah,
but
I'm just gonna pop the light on, because I just realised how dark it is in here.
It's gonna. I thought you weren't paying your electricity bill there, Doug. Jack Mack. Once Klopp is gone, we all know he should have backed Klopp more and won more in this period when we were dominant. Yeah, I mean, last year was an absolute nightmare. I mean, last year was unprecedented. It has to be said, with injuries and stuff. It really was. I mean, to win the league. Walk away with the league. You had a pandemic that couldn't have helped. No fans at the ground, I think, was a huge one for us, especially. So there's a lot of reasons, guys, but just I'm not on here to lash anybody. I'm just giving an opinion. I don't care what anybody says. In, out, shake it all about. It's a song. You know what I mean? That's what you want to do. That's what it is. It's what it's all about. When I finish this podcast tonight, I have my new Liverpool giving FSG more money today, because I was in the store, the official Liverpool store, buying this beautiful. There's only Coke in it, but there will be beer in it later, baby. There's no doubt about it. One of my favourite defenders of all time is Mark Wright. Yes, what a defender he was. Big, blonde, tall Mark Wright. I think he signed it from Derby County at the time. What a centre half he was. Evening, Dave, Doug, and Chats is Genie 20. How are you? Hit the like button, Genie. Guys. Hit the share button. Hit the chocolate buttons. Whatever you want to hit them, baby. John Moore. So with the net spend, we should be thanking Klopp, not FSG. Well, I mean, Klopp's involved. Klopp is the manager of the club. He is an employee of FSG. They're like a group. They're a family. Michael Edwards and his gang. You've got the staff behind Klopp. You've got all those boys there. It's all one. It's one big company. I know people don't like saying that. It's more than a company because it's Liverpool. It's a lot more than a company. But for FSG, they've got people running different sections, and it's huge. Commercial business as well. I think Billy Hogan at the time was the commercial director. Did a great job. We've gone way up. We were way low. We were terrible. Commercially, we were terrible up when Hicks and Gillette were there. I mean, we were hemorrhaging money there. I think we brought in the United's director at the time. United were, us and United was like that. Even though fan base worldwide now was huge. And we've caught up big time the last 4 or 5 years. Klopp has a big say in that as well. Of course he has. I mean, it'd be a sad day whenever Klopp leaves. I can tell you that much. Furlough, naming rights, Super League are the reasons for FSG out there, not transfer policy. No, listen, we've gone through all of them. Yes, transfer policy, I think, is in there as well, to be fair. I think it's certainly in there as well, especially in the last. It's fresh off our memory. It's only last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wright couldn't lace Hansen's boots. Oh, no, stop, would you? Hansen, even Mark Lawrence's boots, never mind Hansen's boots. Would he even lace Van Dijk's boots? No. Matip's boots. No. You wouldn't even lace Matip's boots. Commercially, FSG have been brilliant. Have done some brilliant things. Absolutely. The Megastore. Why that Megastore wasn't there earlier? They used to have a Mickey Mouse store there. A Mickey Mouse shop. It was like a news agent. A news agents. When you walk in, you get your paper. That was Liverpool shop. You walk in, you get your paper. And can I have my paper and that jersey in the corner over there, please?
Yeah.
You know, kind of the Liverpool echo and that jersey. I mean, it was a Mickey Mouse shop. Look at it now, big bleeding megastore.
Yeah,
and
plus you've got the new main stand that they managed to fork out all that money for as well.
Yeah. Listen, main stand, Anfield Road end, expansion, it's already going ahead. Look, Anfield's a different place than it was back in the 90s, I can tell you. Never mind the 80s. It was a decrepit stadium. It really was. And even around the stadium, it's all rejuvenated. There's a lot more they can do. There is a lot more, though. Don't get me wrong. They're not there yet. But I think they might get there if they're given time.
Yeah.
But to keep the fans off their back, or the FSG owners, I think they've got to get players in. And as I said, I think another big thing coming down Liverpool's line, watch this space, is if you look at the profile age of Liverpool's players, it ain't getting younger. It's just not getting younger.
No, it's not.
Other than maybe Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, we have a ticking time bomb going forward. And while Klopp's there, let's say next 3 years, the spine of the team in the next 3 years, while Klopp is there, is going to be early 30s. It's going to be early 30s. I mean, Milli Vanilli, it'd probably be drinking like Ribena out of a bottle. I mean, he'd be 40. Millie be gone. I think this is probably Millie's last season. I know we said it last year. I didn't think he'd even be here this season. But I mean, the likes of even Salah, if he's there, Mane, Van Dijk, you know, the spine, Thiago, Henderson, you know, these players, Fabinho even, all these players are going to be in their 30s. And that is going to be a big, big job if Klopp goes in 2024, which I still think he might. Which when he's registered to go in 2024 in 3 years. Whoever comes in 2024 or 25, I mean, it's going to be that's where I think FSG have made a complete boo-boo of it is. They should be foreseeing this. Now, getting players back on extensions, you know, is brilliant. It needs to be done, or otherwise we lose them. And most players have all the power now, Doug. They bring it down to a year or two, and they hold off. I mean, Salah's 2 years left. He's in a prime position here, especially his agent is in a prime position here.
Yeah.
I think it's Rami Abbas. He's going now, right, I'll hold off. Salah's 2 years left. If you go down to your last year, you're in deep trouble. You have to club by the I mean, look at Mbappe with PSG. Now they didn't because they have oil money. They have money coming out their ears. So for me, FSG have a ticking time bomb in the next 2 or 3 years. If they don't get in at least 5 or 6 fresh blood players, and I mean quality players, I don't mean fringe players. I mean top quality players, because we'll have a stage where 5 or 6 of our top players will just be, you know, out of their prime basically. And how do you not change all them without 200 or 300 million injection? You don't want to leave that to one window, I'm telling you. And that's where they made a mistake in the last 2 windows. If they would have brought someone in January, brought 1 or 2 in August or July, we would have been halfway there. Do you understand? But now we still have those windows. We've 2 closed windows to replace in the next 2 or 3 windows. And those windows just get bigger and bigger and bigger and harder and harder and harder. Sir Oswald Fortitude, we now have the facilities and we'll have competitive stadium. Reminds me of that old saying, give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Give him a fishing rod and he will eat for life. Yeah, depends how good you are at fishing. But another thing is about, we didn't even mention Kirby, the new training ground. I mean, Melwood was past the sell-by date. I mean, we have a top-notch training ground, one of the best in Europe, one of the best in the world. I mean, things are looking up, guys. You'd think we were like mid-table Hicks and Gillette level, the way people are going on at the moment. I mean, we're not that level, but I do see a ticking time bomb. As I said, with those 2 lost windows, transfer windows, I don't know whether you looked at that, Doug, but the age profile, it's not getting any younger. And you don't want to leave the profile of the club. You know what I mean? You don't want to, I mean, we've already lost 2 windows, and you have a January window, which we don't usually buy big in the January window, except for a VVD, of course. Yeah. But you usually leave it till the summer for the big window players. So windows are getting smaller, and I just think that's a big, especially Michael Edwards possibly even gone next summer. I mean, I think the next calendar year, we said it last year, but this year it just gets bigger. It gets bigger for FSG. It gets bigger for the transfer committee, and it gets harder to please people. And I just think that is an overlooked thing. That transfer window where you don't bring in quality just gets put onto the next one, the next one, the next one. And players get older and older and older, and you cannot. You'll have to replace them. You're forced into replacing them, and probably not with the quality you want. You're forced. Yeah. And when you force people in, you don't make the right decisions. You don't bring the players in you want. You're just filling voids. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think they missed a trick, especially with these last two windows, to try get new players in. But you're absolutely right. The age of the squad is that's a good point as well. Qatar hosting the World Cup just proves our crooked football is all about money. All about money.
It's all about the Benjamin Franklins. It always was. It probably is more now than it ever was because there's more money in it. There's never been more money. There's never been more money in football. I mean, we've seen what UEFA did. We've seen what FIFA did. I mean, they're all doing it. They're all doing it. Don't ever say they're not.
Like when have we ever seen a Winter World Cup as well? Like that's just ridiculous. Like that's halfway during the Premier League season as well. Next season is going to be very, very interesting because they've got obviously they've got the World Cup as well. 3 weeks of World Cup, and then obviously the Premier League season as well. Like that's going to be so weird, and obviously the Champions League will be interrupted as well. So they're going to have to make a big decision on like when games are going to be played, etc.
Yeah, I see John Moore has a comment here. AXA, I presume he means AXA, the insurance company, paid for the training ground. They paid for the rights to the training ground, far as I know. It wasn't the total 60 million or whatever, 50, 60 million for the ground. But FSG got FSG got the deal from AXA. So, you know what I mean? Their employees got the deal. So, I mean, I don't know who paid for it, but it doesn't matter. Like, who paid for it. If they're the owners, they're the ones saying, I agree with AXA. Maybe there was others there that didn't give quite the money, and AXA came in and went, we'll give it. Here's one for you, Doug. Eamon Kelly. in one word, shite.
Look, I'm not disappointed. I'm not angry. Yes, I would have liked maybe one or two more, but I do think that this window was all about potentially, getting all these players signed up for contracts. And the thing is, I think, yes, we can obviously talk about contracts being renewed, etc. Yes, you can do that anytime in the season as well. My only worry is that yes, we've not signed any more players. We're pretty stacked at the back. We've got Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, Kanate, and Nat Phillips now. Midfield, I think we're absolutely fine with midfield. It's just the forward line, I think, is a little bit bare. You've got Minamino, you've got Origi, you've got potentially like Elliott there as well. You probably
fit in there.
Ox, yeah. There's not enough depth now for the forward positions, which makes the decision to potentially, sell Origi on ridiculous. I don't think he's going to go to Turkey. I think he's going to stick by. I think we're stuck with him, unfortunately. But it was a window of what if, I would say.
Well, look. As I said earlier, I don't think people talk about it enough. I think we do a podcast on this again sometime, but I really do think, I hark back to it. We've missed two opportunities in the last two windows, January and all summer. All summer. It wasn't just a few weeks in February. Like, we had all summer, June, July, August, our age profile. And I'm talking age profile of key players. I'm not even talking about fringe players. That's another issue. I'm on about the 7 or 8. You look at the age profile of those players, guys, and the next 2 or 3 years with Klopp still there, they're not going to go forever. Most of them are at their prime right now, prime.
Yeah.
So that's where, if you're talking about windows, they're the windows that need to be filled in. But you can't fill in those type of windows even in 2 transfer windows. This is a 3 or 4 or 5 transfer window strategy. So they've already missed 2. What I'm saying is, You've next summer, you've January coming, but unless there's more injuries and you have to really panic and bring someone in. But I don't like panic transfer windows because you never get the player you really want. You're only panicking. It's panic. It's panic at the disco. So I don't want any of that. It's so important. I think I'll do a podcast again just on the age profile of the players at this club and the fact of the missed transfer windows and chance to actually build, the spine up again. I really do think it's so bloody important that the spine of the team hasn't been rejuvenated. As you said, United used to do it. What they used to do was they bring in one or two fringe players, but what they do is they bring in a spine player, a player who could start in the 11 and no one would bat an eyelid. No one. They'd say, oh, yeah, he's straight in. Oh, absolutely. Every transfer window. So you're building up, you're building. In a year, you have two windows. You've brought in two players. You've brought in 20% of the starting 11.
Yeah.
And if you bring in one or two fringe players, which turns out to be a starting 11, that's a bonus, baby. That's a bonus. But with Liverpool, Kanate's in. He hasn't kicked the bleeding ball yet. But you could say, and I'm not going to say, but you could say he could start. I mean, I wouldn't bat an eyelid if Kanate started against Leeds, even though I do like Van Dijk and Matip at the moment, and we've Gomez there as well. Yeah. And now Phillips signed a long-term contract. But what I'm saying is that was nice, but that needed to be done because of the malarkey crap that went on last year. But I just think the forward line is getting older as well, and that was an area we needed to sign somebody. Really, really do.
Yeah, you could also say the fact that like Harvey Elliott is like a new signing as well. Harvey Elliott has been absolutely magnificent.
I know people don't like hearing that now.
No, I know.
I mean, that's just like the Henderson signing. The extension on deadline day. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. That was like. I think that was already a done deal. I really, I think after England, I think he'd already said, listen, guys, I'm going to stay with you. So I want to go on holidays, relax. I'll sign it when I come back.
And I think we've got good cover at left back, but the problem is right back. Like, I'm surprised Neco Williams is still at the club. I thought he would have been gone, gone, but obviously he's managed to stick around as well. I don't want to see Gomez anywhere near right back. For me, Gomez is a centre-back. He is not a left-back. He is not a right-back. That's why we've got Kostas, Greek Scouser, as people like to call him, as well.
Listen, he's been a bonus. That's been a little bonus for us.
I think you'll see later on in the season that Robbo's going to need a rest, and I think we'll need to rely on Tsimikas.
Did Robbo start tonight for Scotland?
He is playing. Yeah, he's back at his left. He's back at his left wing back role. He was playing right wing back the other night, which he did okay, but he's never a right wing back.
Yeah. North Red is in the house. How are you, my friend? We had our parrot in a voice-like grip after all these years, and we just surrendered. It took at last year. Look at last year. Already 3 weeks and 3 injuries. We're wasting the greatest manager in the world. Well, I've no doubt he's the greatest manager in the world. I can understand that. But as I say, I just think we're talking about FSG. I just think I just think they've missed a trick in the last 2 windows. I really, really do. And I'm just hoping it doesn't come back to bite them. And bite the club. I'm more worried about. Bite the bloody club. Because as I said, age profile of the club, the players, the spine of the team is just getting older and older and older. And if you don't rejuvenate quality, I'm not talking about, fringe players. I'm on about players that could actually start. You won't look any way different or, what's he doing on the pitch? Could start. And that's where your transfer windows are important. That's the legacy. That's a legacy thing. Yeah, to go 100%. Ahead and look ahead for future. It's not dwelling on what we've done. We won the league. We've won the Champions League, won the Super Cup, Club World Cup. We've done all that. Beautiful. But we're looking forward 3 or 4 years. We're already looking at the player's age going, 28 in 3 years, it'd be 31. Sell on clause there at 31. You're not worth as much as you are when you're 28, 27, you're at your prime. You're not worth half as much money, a third of the money when you're 31, 32. No matter how good you are. That's just the way it is. So I think we're going to go in about 4 or 5 minutes, guys. I'm going to give it the hour. We're 6 minutes away. But I just think it's missed trick for FSG. My final thoughts on FSG. A missed trick in the last 2 windows to add to our spine, add to our 11 basically starting players. We didn't do it. And that now puts more pressure on the remaining windows, the January, the next summer, the next big summer, as they say. And it puts pressure on Klopp. It puts pressure on unnecessary pressure on the team. And I just can't see how they missed that trick, especially in the summer. I mean, January's never a great window, is it? They didn't do the job there either. But summer's the window where you really strengthen. You've seen the top clubs do it. We didn't do it. I think it's going to come back to bite them, Doug.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think it is going to come back to bite them, and we can only hope that.
Okay, I'll ring John Henry now. Hold on. He said he's having a smoke or he's having a cigar somewhere. He can ring me later. Oh, yeah, he's actually apologising to somebody. He said he'll ring me later. It's apologies. But listen, I mean, you can spend all night talking about FSG, owners of clubs and stuff like that. I'm not FSG in. I'm not FSG out. I'm sort of in the middle, as I say. They've done more good than bad. And that, in my mind, just tips it more. They've done good. If it's the other way around, but they've done more bad than good, you have a different problem. But I really do think they're clinging on with fingernails with these transfer windows and not rejuvenating the players, because these windows coming up now become almost pivotal for the club.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But as John Moore says, next summer's always saying next year. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Every year it gets worse for them, though. The profile of the top players just goes up. No sell on. There's no sell on there because of the age of the players.
Yeah.
52 million in sales. That's Kirby paid for. I don't think it's as simple as that. But, listen, it isn't as simple as that. FSG tried to join the Super League for pure greed in a pandemic. True Klopp under the bus. Never trust them, says Eamon. Well, it's all about opinions. Tom Conley. FSG long-term strategy is our youngsters in Kirby. I say this as Klopp was really keen on getting the kids training in the first team. Yeah, I know that. Exact as in the Bundesliga. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. He wanted at Melwood. The youth team didn't play at Melwood or train. They were on a separate ground. So he used to have to travel and go, in between and stuff. Whereas now it's in the complex. Even though it's separated, they don't mix. The youths don't mix with the first team. But he can look out in his window. Having a cup of coffee and basically see them training. I just walk across. You know what I mean? So that way, absolutely. And it is important to bring the youngsters through. Otherwise, it's futile. It's futile. I mean, why have a youth team if you can't bring them through? All right, you might get the odd nugget and sell them. But, I mean, Chelsea have done that a lot. Have about 50 players out on loan. Some of the players they've got is unbelievable. Yeah. Number 20 is on the way. I love that. Love it, baby. As I say, going to go another 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to go for a few beers with my lovely new LFC. I think that was €13. I'm going to give out FSG for that. That's expensive for a glass. €13 for a glass. Wow. That's nearly as dear as a pint in Dublin. Holy shit. Ravi, our spinal squad is the second stage now, so we have to move forward and build it. Exactly. Exactly what we were talking about. Don't get on Twitter, guys. Your common sense, honestly, that you killed it. John, thank you very much. As I say,
thanks, John.
Doug from Doug Football Channel. Check him out. Top class content on Liverpool. And he actually does a lot of stuff, Scottish football and a lot of teams, Premier League, basically. Doug, tell us about your channel. Fill the last minute or two in there about your channel or where the people can find you.
Yeah, obviously my Twitter handle is on there. So that's Enrod_992. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn. You can find me on Facebook, Douglas James Horn. But the main important one is the Dugout Football Channel. I cover Scottish Premier League, Bundesliga. I'm doing World Cup qualifiers as well. At the moment, probably Champions League as well. I'm a basic football channel, so I'm always expanding. Always expanding. Just come and check me out. I'm on 1.4K at the moment. So
woo! You're catching up on me.
Growing nicely.
Do you know what it is? It's not even about that. We hear a lot of people on about how many subs they have and all this. It's what I like is talking to the likes of you and Jack and Keith.
Yeah.
Dan and Connor from the Cop Council, all the friends and people, LFC family, whatever you want to call them, but different opinions as well as what I like. I like the interviews. I like the one-on-ones. I also like the 2 or 3 people in the panels. I like going on to other people's channels. Twitter can be toxic at times, sometimes better off that, although I do be on it quite a lot. But for me, it's all about these type nights, putting your opinions in, talking about it. You don't have to, agree, disagree, sit on the fence, whatever you want to do. It's all a bit of crack, bit of fun. We all love Liverpool. That's what it's all about, guys. I've enjoyed tonight. Thank you very much to Doug from the Dugout Football Channel. It's been emotional. FSG, in or out? Thoughts in the comments, guys. Thank you to everybody tonight. Loads of people in. John Moore, as usual. John, thank you very much. Ravi, Sir Oswald, Fortitude, that's some name, that is. Tom Connolly, Eamon Kelly, Johnny 86065726. That's your phone number, Johnny? Just giving it out to half the world. Genie 20. It's really North Red. Oh my God, you guys are absolutely. I'm surprised Helen Raybould hasn't been in tonight. That's unusual. But as I say, it's all about Daz TV was in earlier.
Yeah.
Jack Mack, LFC. It's just been really Zachary Leahy all the way to the States. Guys, you make the channel. If you don't come in and comment here, there's no interaction. It's just not the same. As I say, go for a few beers in my lovely new Liverpool glass. Doug, thank you very much. Thanks, guys, in the comments. Stay safe. Load of stuff coming up midweek. Chat with Chris Pajak from Redmen TV. Also, another little ex-Liverpool player chat next week. Watch this space. Guys,